The greatest assassin on Earth has only lived his life as a tool for his employers, until he decided to retire, and his employers also set him up to die. Reborn by the grace of a goddess into a world of swords and magic, he's offered a chance to do things differently this time. Alan Smith is an ugly, disgusting, lonely top G assassin who's taking his last mission along with Mila Martinez. She is his apprentice who calls him daddy even if he's not her father.
What do you mean by that?
After doing his mission, Alan stands up to go, but Mila tells her there is something else he can shoot if he wants. Alan then reminds Mila that he doesn't mix business with pleasure, so Mila shuts her mouth. Just as the two are about to leave, Alan spots a surveillance drone locking on their position. The two enter Van Koon and showcase their fast and furious skills while the assailants follow them in armored vehicles. The two then manage to distract their assailants by jumping out of the van without them having a clue. The plan works successfully, and the two deceive their assailants, making them believe that they have died along with Van Koon. Help me spam rip Van Koon, for it failed its mission to isekai any victim to a new world. After sorting out a suitable location for the night, Mila calls Alan daddy and asks to develop plot with her because it's cold outside. However, Alan tells her that he is a man of culture and he is not into outdoor fun. After teaching his apprentice a good lesson about not trusting anyone, the two call it a day. The next day, Alan receives his next mission from the organization. After obtaining their fake passports, the two boarded a plane heading to Japan. While on board, the plane starts suffering from severe turbulence, and Alan soon realizes that the organization is trying to eliminate him because he is finally set to retire. He is shocked that the organization is willing to kill many innocent people just to get rid of him. He goes to the front of the plane and realizes that there is nothing he can do to save it. Suddenly, a fighter jet approaches and fires a missile at the plane. While he regrets not having Mila gurgle his protein shake when he has the chance, Alan is suddenly pulled into a crystallized room where he meets with a goddess. The goddess says that she's willing to reincarnate the assassin into a fantasy world, where he can keep all his memories from his previous life. However, this comes with one condition, which is eliminating the hero of the fantasy world. The goddess then asks Alan if he wants to develop plot with her because she's been craving to feel her floodgate opens again after years of dry season.
Stop it. Get some help.
Alan, however, tells her to stop her bullshit and ask why he needs to terminate the hero. The goddess then explains the details of the task to him and reveals that 16 years after he gets reincarnated, the hero will defeat the demon lord. However, the hero will soon become overwhelmed by his own power and throw the world he once saved into complete chaos. Due to these unfortunate future events, Alan needs to defeat the hero at the age of 18. With the knowledge he learned from the goddess, Alan reveals his worries about facing such a powerful being with just his standard abilities. The goddess then tells Alan that he will also be granted 5 assassin skills that he can use to fight the hero. Alan asks if he can terminate the hero earlier, but the goddess warns him that the hero needs to eliminate the demon lord first because he's the only one capable of defeating the menace. Alan is then free to get rid of the hero once the hero fulfilled his duty. After asking for all the needed information, the goddess grants Alan the opportunity to choose 5 skills of his choice, each coming from different ranks. With a total of more than 100,000 skills available, the assassin is only allowed to pick 5 from each rank, whereas the hero is born with 30 skills in his arsenal. This means he will have to face off with the hero with just 5 skills, while the hero has inborn 30 overpowered skills. Choosing from the S rank, the assassin chooses the skill of rapid recovery, which the name says it all. Meanwhile, from the A rank, the assassin chooses the Spellweaver skill, which grants him the ability to create new spells. Then, from the B rank, he chooses the skill that grants him limitless growth, so he can be stronger every single day. From the C rank, the assassin chooses martial arts, basically for close combat purposes. Then lastly, from the D rank, the assassin chooses the attribute to bend elements like fire, water, air, earth, light, and dark, making a total of 6 element attributes. He will have complete control over the 6 elements at his disposal, whereas most people are only able to bend one at birth. This way, he can master all the bending forms and be the next avatar. Sorry, wrong anime. After making his selections, the goddess informs Alan that it's time for him to be reborn. He will be reborn into the noble house of Tuatha, which makes a living from assassinations. Soon after, the house of Tuatha welcomes a new baby boy, the reincarnation of the world's finest assassin. Cyan Tuatha, the father, and Esri Tuatha, the mother, decide to name their baby boy Lu Tuatha. Cyan vouches to train Lu in the way of the assassins and ensures that nobody can harm him. He promises Esri that Lu will not die like their first child, rough Tuatha. 7 years later, Lu is seen hunting in the woods. He seems very capable and efficient with his skills, but he has yet to learn how to use his magic. Lu returns home after successfully killing a rabbit, which he then makes for soup. His parents are amazed by his cooking skills, but little do they know that Lu always prepares his meals with the right amount of nutrients. He does this to make sure he grows stronger and better in preparation for his battle against the hero. After eating, Lu goes to meet his father in the training room. His father often meticulously examines his body structure to determine the stage of training he will provide him with. This, of course, is to make sure that he can carry out assassination missions for the royal families. The House of Tuatha members are also known to be medical experts. Cyan teaches Lu both assassination and medical techniques so that he can soon become the heir to the house. In addition to that, Cyan will also be giving Lu the Mystic Eyes of Tuatha. The Mystic Eyes involves a magical surgery that is performed on the eyes to improve his ability and vision to observe mana. It also helps the wielder to see greater in low light. Soon afterward, Lu's eyes were surgically removed, and the surgery was a great success because Lu could now see the world differently. He can also observe people's mana with his new vision ability. To add to Lu's excitement, Cyan tells him that a magic mentor is coming over to start teaching him how to make use of his magical abilities. A week later, a young mage named Dia Vikaune arrives to teach Lu how to master his magical abilities. Lu is surprised to see such a young lady as his mentor, but is quickly convinced when he sees Dia's power. The next day, Lu respectfully greets her mentor as a sign of honor, but Dia shrugs him off and says she's only 3 years older than him. She also reveals her excitement about working with Lu for the next 2 weeks. Dia then gives Lu a white transparent stone that she calls a far stone, which can be used to store mana. Dia asks Lu to transfer some of his mana into the stone, so she can measure the extent of his magical capabilities. Lu starts filling the stone with so much mana that Dia is left dumbfounded. Dia then wonders if Lu can fill her up just like the far stone because she wants to feel his mana inside her. Lu fills the stone with mana up to the extent that it is very dangerous to hold. Dia immediately tells him to throw the stone as far as possible, so Lu throws it to a great distance. Nonetheless, the explosion caused by it can still be felt all over the area, including the whole Tuatha estate. The explosion attracts Lu's parents, and Dia informs them that Lu is responsible for the massive shake they just experienced. Hearing this, Cyan feels so proud, and Esri says she is happy with her son's capabilities. After his parents' departure, Lu asks Dia if he could get more far stones, but Dia tells him that she will only give him more if he will let her experience his tasty hot cream puff. Later that night, Lu contemplates if he is ready to do a delicious hot cream puff, but to no avail. The following morning, Dia is ready to train Lu again. This time, they will be dealing with his attributes about the elements. She tests for fire and realizes that Lu has an affinity for fire. However, it did not take too long for her to realize that Lu has an affinity for more than 2 elements, which is not the usual norm in their world. She then starts teaching Lu to materialize different elements from his spells. Dia casts a spell and materializes copper, but when Lu tries it himself, the copper he materializes is as ugly as his face.
Oh, damn!
Dia assures him that the only thing he needs is to practice the correct way of casting his spells. Lu and Dia keep working together until Lu became capable of forming better elements with his spells. Just then, Lu figures out that he can also create his own spells without using complicated incantations. He uses his knowledge in chemistry to manipulate different elements and produce different materials like iron and more. Dia gets excited by Lu's discovery, but she soon realizes that she can't use the spells created by Lu because they don't have the same knowledge in chemistry. While Dia is having a hard time, Lu does it like a piece of cake. Lu can do this because of his skill in creating new spells that he received from the goddess before being reincarnated. As days pass, they start creating spells to make weapons like rifles and more. Lu even creates a spell to create a projectile launcher that is so powerful that Dia starts wondering what on earth he was training for. When it was time for Dia's departure, Lu makes a beautiful sharp titanium blade for her as a remembrance. Dia makes Lu promise to come to visit her when she wants to see him, and he agrees with no hesitations. Lu thanks her for being a good mentor to him, and Dia also gives him a far stone in return. After Dia's departure, Cyan takes his son on a ride to the prison, where criminals on death row are being held. Lu asks Cyan why he didn't raise him to suppress his emotions, and Cyan says they are not tools. Cyan says they have the right to deny any assassination request, which doesn't seem to benefit the kingdom. He even adds that their only purpose is to serve the kingdom and not to be a killing tool for the royal families. Cyan takes Lu into one of the cells and asks him to eliminate a woman who has been sentenced to death. At first, the woman begs for mercy, but when she realizes that Lu is showing no sign of hesitation, she shows her true color of being an evil and wicked human being. Lu confidently terminates her with one of his sharpest blades that he created so the prisoner would have a painless death. 3 years later, Lu and his parents visit the town's market to check on the human traders and the people. Esri still treats Lu like a baby, and he is not happy about it. However, when Esri pretends like she's crying, Lu agrees to eat her cakes with her just like they did when he was younger. Lu's white creamy soup recipe is also doing well in the market. As they tour around, Lu also uses the opportunity to find a young person with exceptional mana that can be his assistant. He scans the crowd with his Byakugan. Sorry, I mean he uses his mystic eyes, but couldn't find a suitable person. This keeps getting him worried because he needs to kill the hero in the next 8 years. Later on, Lu goes on a hunting trip in the woods, where he senses a pack of wolves stalking their prey. Lu's boredom made him decide to be a certified predator menace and steal their prey from them. To his utmost surprise, Lu discovers that the wolves are hunting down a young lady. Being the certified simp he is, Lu quickly interferes and eliminates the pack of wolves to save the damsel in distress and to make use of the situation to riz the girl. After easily defeating the pack of wolves, Lu asks how a beautiful girl like her ended up in the woods. The girl explains that she comes from a poor region, and she got a hint from a traveler who tells her that the Tuatha region is wealthy. Lu takes pity on her, so he makes a fire, cooks food, and lets the girl have a taste of his signature thick white creamy soup. He even gives her his jacket to make her feel warm and safe. After eating, Lu reveals to her that he is the son of Cyan, the head of the house of Tuatha. Then, he tells the girl that he needs her for his work, so he reveals that in his mission, he kills people. But he clarifies to her that what he is doing is surely for a good cause. The very reason why Lu shares this secret with her is to ultimately make her trust him, and be the ally that he wants for himself. After hearing that Lu needs her, the girl's floodgate opens and she gets excited to be of service to him. Time jumps to 2 years later, and the Rizlord Gigachat is now 12 years old. The girl, whose real name is Tarde, has also grown to be Lu's personal assistant, and she is assigned to cook meals for the Tuatha family. After eating, Lu invites Tarde to the training room and inspects her just like what his father did to him before. He uses it to track Tarde's growth and determine their next training course. In just 2 years, Tarde has improved greatly in her training and abilities to become a magnificent assassin. However, Tarde is only good with spears and doesn't do well with knives. That said, her limited weapon mastery gives Lu a bigger concern because assassins are meant to carry concealable weapons. After a thought session, Lu comes up with the idea of conjuring a spear that can also fold into the size of a knife. Tarde practices with this weapon and performs brilliantly. Since then, Lu and Tarde have kept becoming closer to each other day by day. Elsewhere, Dia is feeling lonely as she misses Lu more than ever. On the other hand, the Rizlord Gigachad and his personal assistant visit the town's market. Everybody is happy to see Lu, and they give him gifts as an appreciation for his help in creating new spells that help their crops to grow better. Lu also helps the livestock farmers, who are having issues with animal production. On their way home, Tarde can't help but be surprised to see the large number of gifts that were given to his master. Lu explains to her that it is very important for a leader to win the heart of his followers. Moreover, Lu tells her that he will be the town's head one day, so gaining the trust of the public as early as possible is a must in his situation. At home, Lu goes to his wardrobe and brings out a bag containing a large quantity of far stones, revealing that he was able to create new far stones after studying the one that was given to him by Dia. He has been storing his mana in the far stones, so he can use them as weapons against their enemies in case of emergency. Soon after, Cyan summons Lu to the training room, asking him about the progress report on Tarde. Lu reveals that Tarde has been performing exceptionally well in her field of expertise, and also assures his father that Tarde is not a spy sent by the neighboring region to collect information about the House of Tuatha. However, Cyan is still a bit cautious because Tarde arrives just when he is looking for an assistant with an impressive amount of mana. After their discussion about Tarde, Cyan informs Lu that he has another test for him. Cyan reveals that his performance in the test will determine if he will be fully involved into the family's assassination business or not. Lu accepts the challenge, which turns out to be an all-out one-on-one combat with his father. However, Cyan assures him that it doesn't matter if he loses or not because all he needs to do is to assess Lu's capabilities as an assassin. The two then meets up in the forest to fight each other. Lu tries to gain advantage against Cyan, but to no avail. Meanwhile, Cyan approaches Lu with surprise attacks, forcing him to stay on defensive mode. Soon enough, Lu realizes that his father has successfully predicted his movements. Lu then combines the experience he had from his past life and the skills he learned from the House of Tuatha to trick his father. His father launches an attack, but Lu is more than ready for it. He counters the attack and gains an advantage over his father. The tough situation gives his father no choice but to concede defeat. After the test, Cyan praises his son for defeating him without even using his magical abilities. His success in the test allows Lu to assist his father on his assassination missions. Moments later, Lu and his father visit a nobleman to provide medical aid for him. On their way back, Lu points out that Cyan was only there to assess the nobleman's security details. Cyan agrees and explains to him that he does this in preparation for his another assassination mission. Cyan also explains that an assassin also makes use of different identities when trying to infiltrate a target castle. That said, Cyan reveals that he has arranged a fake identity for him with the owner of a respectable trading company called Balor. The identity was created at the same time when Lu was born, and Balor agreed to this because he owed Cyan a favor. Lu is to stay with Balor as his son for 2 years, and he will be known as Elig Balor during his time there. After his time with Balor, Lu would have gotten the identity of a merchant, and this will give him more access to the target's houses and castles. Before sending his son away for his final test, Cyan calls for a get-together with the branch families and reveals to them that Lu will become the next head of the house after him. However, a young man named Rana from one of the branch families comes forward to oppose the declaration. That said, Cyan proposes a duel between Rana and Lu. Lu did not waste any time and he defeats Rana easily like a true gigachat. Rana concedes defeat and accepts Lu as the next head of the House of Tuatha. Moments later, Lu visits Rana and promises to make him his subordinate when he becomes the head of the House of Tuatha. Upon hearing that, Rana pledges to train harder to become a knight instead of an assassin before the time comes for Lu to become the new house head. Before leaving his site, Lu decided to give him a sword as a departing gift. Shortly after, Lu leaves for his new adventure to train and have the identity of a merchant. Before his incorporation into the Balor family, Lu dyes his hair color to avoid any suspicion about his ties with the House of Tuatha. A few years ago, in the merchant town of Milu, a group of orphan girls were working as tourist guides. They take tourists around the town and show them the great places where they would like to visit. In return, the tourists pay them some amount of tip, and this is what these orphan girls are using to sustain themselves from their daily needs. While the group discusses how to attract more customers to make more money, some strange-looking men appear out of nowhere. They captured all of the girls and transported them to an orphanage. The orphanage director, Mr. Torin, warns the girls to follow all his instructions or they will face the consequences of their disobedience. One of the girls tries to protest that they are doing just fine on their own, but Mr. Torin's assistant punches her to keep her mouth shut. The girls are kept in a room and given some potatoes and carrots to eat for the whole week. As days go by, the men start forcing the girls to do hard labor. Soon after, a nobleman, Viscount Hermel, comes over to inspect the girls. He makes his pick and pays Mr. Torin to bring the girl to develop plot with him at his mansion. That night, Ifa is called upon to prepare and meet with Viscount Hermel. When Ifa returns, she looks devastated and she runs to a corner to cry. This became a regular Tuesday for Ifa and even Mr. Torin develops plot with her whenever he wants. Later on, most of the girls are also added to the plot development routine. One night, Noin takes a sickle and destroys her face in an attempt to prevent rich men from developing plot with her again. 2 years later, Maha overhears Mr. Torin and his assistant planning to develop plot with her because she's now ripe enough to be harvested. Hearing this, Maha takes the sickle and attempts to destroy her face just like Noin, but Lu arrives and stops her. The Rizlord tells her not to do it because her face is cuter when she smiles. Lu, who is now known as Elig Balor, the son of Lord Balor, enters the orphanage to purchase one of the girls. He obviously chooses Maha because of her mana, and he pays Mr. Torin the just compensation. However, Mr. Torin tells him that he can only come for Maha after 3 days. That night, Mr. Torin prepares Maha for a trip to Viscount Hermel's mansion. Not willing to suffer the same fate, Maha activates her mana and escapes into the woods. Unfortunately, she's stopped by Mr. Torin's assistant, who also possesses a strong mana. He then tries to penetrate Maha's floodgate with her huge Excalibur, but Lu suddenly appears and throws him off like a light pillow. He launches an attack on Lu, but he easily defeats him, breaking his bone and knocking him out in the process. Lu then hands Mr. Torin and his assistant over to the authorities for severe punishment. Meanwhile, the evil nobleman, Viscount Hermel, is framed up by Tarde to unveil his wrongdoings in the town. Moments later, Lu frees the rest of the girls, and he even fixes the scars on Nguyen's face. Seeing that everything has been settled, Lu takes Maha as his new assistant. Lord Balor's son suffers from a serious illness, and Lu uses his medical expertise to heal him. Lord Balor thanks Lu for all his help and says that he is once again indebted to him and the House of Tuatha. He then tells Lu that he has finished the adoption process, and that Maha's name has been added to the Balor family registry. Shortly after, Lord Balor shows him the map of an abandoned store, and says that he is leaving Lu with the responsibility of rejuvenating one of the stores of their family. Lord Balor reiterates that he is only doing this because he trusts Lu's abilities. Lu accepts the challenge and says he's ready to give it a shot. After his conversation with Lord Balor, Lu informs Maha and Tarde about his new task. He tells the two that he plans to open a cosmetic store, just like how business owners do it in TikTok, so that he will be able to attract the attention of the public. The following day, Lu invites Lord Balor and his wife to a closed meeting. Lord Balor's wife does not like Lu, and she is not really interested in the business idea that he's about to bring. Realizing this, Lu just ignored her existence and kept in his mind that she was nothing but an ugly, useless NPC who would never have enough screen time because of her ugly face.
Emotional damage!
Lu sets out his plan of opening the store as a cosmetic shop, and he plans to make a product that other companies will not be able to compete with. Lu recalls his knowledge from his previous life and thought of offering moisturizers in that fantasy world because they did not have that product yet. Lu proposes the idea of making moisturizers, and he brings out a sample for Lord Balor's wife to test the product for herself. She immediately falls in love with the product, and she starts thinking that it is the solution to fix her ugly face. Lord Balor also tests it out and wonders if it can be used for some other stuff. Why do I have a bad feeling about that other stuff? Lord Balor is so satisfied with the result, and his wife declares the product will sell massively in the market. She is dumbfounded by the product's potential to preserve the freshness of the skin and avoid looking dry like she always does. Lord Balor's wife is forced to praise Lu for his wonderful product, and Lord Balor demands to start mass production of the moisturizer immediately. However, Lu says that the ingredients he needs to mix the oil and water can only be bought in the Tuatha region. That said, Lord Balor tasks Lu to buy the ingredients so that production can go smoothly. Lu then travels to Tuatha region to secure the ingredient that is obtained from soybeans, which obviously benefits the farmers of their region. Not long after, the cosmetic store named Orna started growing massively. Several people from all over the region and neighboring regions come over to get the popular moisturizer. On the other hand, Lu decided to hire Maha's orphan sisters as workers in the cosmetic store, giving them the opportunity to leave the streets. Moreover, Tarde informs Lu that spies from other companies are trying to get information about the store, but they have not been successful. That night, a spy sneaks into Lu's bedroom to kidnap him in an attempt to get the formula for the moisturizer. But the spy is quickly stopped by Tarde and Maha. The two capture him and start interrogating him to confess everything. However, the spy is not willing to cooperate, so he is given a tough time that he will never forget for the rest of his life. The next day, Lu prepares himself to visit Dia. He usually visits her once a month, and uses his magic to transport himself to Dia's region. Dia is happy to see Lu and she shows him the new spell she created. The two have fun together and Dia gets sad again when it's time for Lu to bid farewell. The following morning, Lu wakes up, realizing that his Excalibur has released the white sticky liquid that comes naturally to teenage boys. He gets shy in front of Tarde and Maha, but the two assure him that they are always available to help him take care of his business. Lu, however, tells them that it's not what they think it is, because it's just a spilled protein shake.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
On their way home, two of Maha's sisters are attacked by the bandits, but Maha arrives in the nick of time to save them. She warns the bandits never to come near to her family again, or she will escort them to the gates of hell. Later on, Tarde hands over Lu a pouch containing a lot of buttons from the bad people she had exterminated to keep the peace in Miltu. Lu has tasked Tarde with the job of eliminating the bandits, while he gives Maha the task of collecting information and handling money. Soon after, Lu prepares to leave Miltu because his 2 years of training as a merchant is already complete. That said, he hands over the moisturizer company to Maha. On the other hand, Maha shows Lu a map of an abandoned store in a neighboring town, and Lu soon realizes that Maha is also trying to get close to the man who eliminated her parents and took over their family business. Seeing through Maha's plan, Lu tells her not to allow her emotions to cloud her judgment, and he agrees to her proposition. Just then, Maha's sisters enter the room, and the group gives Lu a goodbye present to thank him for all of his help. They beg him to come visit them when he is free, and Lu promises them to do it. Later on, Lu removes the dye in his hair to reveal his shining silver hair once again. Before getting into his carriage, Maha stopped Lu to have a heart-to-heart conversation with him. She also tells Tuatha to take good care of Lu, and as they depart, Maha pledges to always help and assist Lu with all of his goals for the rest of her life. On their way home, Tuatha teases Lu, telling him that Maha doesn't like him as a brother because she wants him to be her lover instead. As Lu discusses about Tuatha's claims, they sense the presence of mana energy around. The carriage stops, and they discover that they are being surrounded by a pack of monster wolves. Tuatha then single-handedly takes out the wolves in no time. At that moment, Lu realizes that the hero will soon surface because monsters are already entering human realm. That said, the two continue their journey, and they soon arrive at the house of Tuatha. The people of Tuatha region welcome Lu with happiness, and they also thank him for the help he has rendered to the community ever since he took charge of it. Upon getting home, Esri's joy knows no boundaries because she can finally hold her son again after some years of longing. After the formalities, Lu goes to see his father in his study room. His father praises him for performing excellently during his training as a merchant. Cyan tells him that Lord Balor visited him some days past and begs him to persuade Lu to become a full-time merchant instead of becoming an assassin. Cyan then asks if Lu wants Lord Balor's proposal, but he clearly says no. Lu thinks to himself and pledges not to carry out assassination orders, for he vouches to only exterminate people that he wants to eradicate. On the other hand, Lu confesses to Cyan that he is in love with Dia and would love to marry her someday. That said, he can only do that if he is from a noble house like the Tuatha. After getting a satisfactory answer from his son, Cyan gives him his first task. He is to eliminate a nobleman who sells the kingdom's secret to other kingdoms in exchange for drugs. Cyan tells Lu that he will not interfere or assist him with his task, so Lu promises his father to do a perfect job and always make him proud. Upon receiving his first true assassination job, Lu informs Tuatha that the name of the target is Count Asba, who relentlessly trades drugs in his region. According to Cyan's investigation, Count Asba profits from the selling of drugs, while most of his citizens are living poorly. Lu then sends a message to Maha to use her network of information to find out about all the shady deals about the subjected Count. The following morning, Esri tells Lu that Tuatha has told her about how he released his thick protein milkshake when they were in Miltu. Soon enough, Esri tries to inspect Lu's Excalibur, but to no avail. Esri wants to arrange a marriage for him, but Lu says it's a bad idea. Esri suggests Lu to develop plot with Tuatha.
Yes! 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 Yes!
But Lu doesn't agree with it.
No! No! No!
Esri is in a hurry to see her grandchildren, but Lu isn't ready to father any child at the moment. Later that day, Lu and Tuatha disguise themselves as a couple and penetrate the Count's town. Lu plans to take a look at the situation of the town himself. The two enter the town to find a young girl with a basket full of illegal medicines. So Lu gets the basket and smashes it on the floor. Some bandits, who are in charge of keeping the drugs safe, attack Lu, but he and Tuatha defeat them easily. The two then ask the girl where she was taking the drugs, so the girl says her mother needs it. Lu and Tuatha decide to follow her and check on her mother. Upon reaching the house, Lu realizes the mother is in bad shape due to her addiction to the drug. Lu goes close to her and heals her from the physical effects of the drug. Then, he says that it's all up to the girl's mother to recover psychologically from that moment on. When they return home, they discover that Maha has sent all her findings about the case. Lu reviews everything and is finally convinced that the Count is guilty and needs to perish. Lu disguises himself as Elig Balor, and he is accompanied by Maha to the Count's town. On their way, Maha urges Lu to get closer to Tuatha because she loves him. Maha then confesses that she is also in love with Lu. However, she is delaying her pursuit of love because she wants the cosmetics company to grow better first. She intends to use her success in the company to convince Lu to be with her. Maha then tells Lu that she's willing to be his side chick when he gets married. The two then arrive at their destination and are welcomed by Count Asba's wife. Lu gives her a new moisturizer, and she instantly falls in love with it. She plans to advertise the product to all her noble friends. Just then, Count Asba enters the room and welcomes Lu. Count Asba says he has arranged a party in honor of Lu. At the party, all the attendees are all interested in the new moisturizer. Lu tries to interrogate Count Asba about his business, but he doesn't slip up. That night, the two approach Count Asba's castle from a distance, and he materializes his sniper rifle to do his assassination. Lu waits for a spa to show up in the corridor, where he enjoys gazing at the moon. While aiming his target, Tarde stays on guard to make sure that the mission goes smoothly. Lu gets a clear shot and successfully terminates Count Asba with his sniper rifle. He's about to leave when he sees Count Asba's wife rushing over to her husband's dead body. Lu feels a little bit of regret but shrugs it off and tells himself that this is who he is now. He vouches once again not to be a tool of assassination, and he will only kill people who deserve it and nothing more. Lu leaves the scene without regret but says he will never forget what he did that day. Lu and Tarde go on a trip to an uninhabited island to practice a new magic that Lu developed. When they return to the mainland, they find Maha waiting for them. Maha informs Lu that she has found the divine treasure he has been looking for. The divine treasures existed even before ancient times and cannot be destroyed easily. They can't be made by humans either, and they possess tremendous amount of power. Moreover, Maha tells him that the divine treasure she was able to find is the magic spear, Gibalg. Maha tries purchasing the magic spear, but it belongs to a man named Satanta Magnus, whom Maha suggests to be the hero that Lu is looking for. After that, Maha also reveals the bad news, informing Lu that a war has started in the neighboring region of Swojil Kingdom, which means that Dia is in great trouble. Moreover, Satanta Magnus, who sides with the rebels, is giving the kingdom a very hard time. After receiving this information, Lu quickly visits Dia in her hometown. He then offers to transport Dia and her family away to a safe kingdom, but she tells him that she won't leave her hometown and she will protect their people at all costs. Dia then tells Lu not to worry too much about it and suggests that they have fun instead. She decides to dye her hair like Lu's, and they walk on the streets while having a heart-to-heart deep conversation. Lu suggests that they go to a restaurant to get something to eat, and Dia is surprised that he is very familiar with most of the restaurants in Vicaune region, even though he's not from that area. As they continue their stroll, Dia finds a teddy game shop, where Lu helps her shoot a specific teddy bear. Lu is about to use magic, but Dia stops him and says it's not fair to use magic. The Rizlord then decides to hold Dia's hand and let her shoot the bear that she likes. After several trials, Dia finally claims her prize, and soon enough Dia craves lasagna for lunch. That said, Lu takes her to a restaurant where they make the best lasagna. At the restaurant, Dia complains that the lasagna isn't good enough, so Lu promises to make a better one for her when she visits the house of Tuatha. After eating, the two run into a lost child, and with the use of Dia's magic, they are able to locate the boy's mother and reunite them quickly. Dia praises Lu for being a kind-hearted man.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And she suggests that they visit the town's pool, which she has reserved only for the two of them. Lu is shy about entering the water, but Dia encourages him to do so. The two then develops plot in the water, and enjoys every moment of diving deeper on each other's plot.
Yeah, boy.
With the day coming to an end, the two decide to bid farewell to each other. When Lu departs, Dia orders the citizens to take off their disguises. It is then revealed that they are the war soldiers of the kingdom. With tears rolling down her eyes, Dia mutters goodbye to her beloved Lu. Tarde and Lu arrive home and find a wounded man lying on the floor. Cyan then informs them that he has already taken care of his wounds. Moreover, Cyan reveals that the man brought an assassination task for them and Lu should be the one to do it. Cyan reveals to Lu that the target is Dia, which greatly surprises him. However, he remains calm to hear all the details, and his father explains to him that the Vicaune army and the Swojil army are lost in the war. Count Vicaune has already surrendered most of his land and wealth, but the rebels still want Dia because she's a powerful mage and she will make a good mother. Count Vicaune has decided to stop this from happening, so he has hired the house of Tuatha to assassinate Dia. However, there is a catch. Dia's father only wants the assassination to look real, but it's just going to be a facade. If the rebels believe that Dia is dead, they will cease the siege on the house of Vicaune. Lu wonders why his father accepted the job, so Cyan tells Lu that he owes the house of Vicaune a debt. He would have preferred to carry out the mission by himself, but Vicaune region is far and his mana would have been exhausted before he gets there. After knowing what he needs to know, Lu decides to accept the job, and he gives 3 reasons for doing so. Number 1 is that he owes Dia for teaching him magic. Number 2 is that he is in love with Dia. Number 3 is that he has promised Dia to always come to her aid anytime she needs him. Cyan then drops the bomb to him that Esri was also from the house of Vicaune, which means Dia is his cousin. He then wishes his son good luck as he prepares for his journey. On the other hand, Tarde offers to assist Lu on his journey so that he can conserve his mana and strength. Tarde uses a wind spell to move faster while pulling Lu with her. The spell is taking a big toll on Tarde's part, but she's not ready to give up yet. She remembers how Lu saved her, which gives her more motivation to continue. Soon afterward, Lu urges Tarde to stop so that she won't harm herself, but she refuses. Tarde keeps going until she finally exhausts all the mana that she has. Lu thanks her for bringing him that far, and Tarde begs Lu to come back with Dia no matter what. After Lu's departure, Tarde starts crying with her uncontrollable tears. Lu arrives at Viscounte's castle and sees lots of soldiers holding the city on siege. Lu summons a rifle and starts taking out the magic users among the soldiers. He also changes location from time to time, and uses the far stones he has been storing to create explosions. Lu's attacks disrupt the soldiers' formation, and the Viscounte army uses that moment as an opportunity to retaliate. Lu conjures a wind spell, which he uses to make his way to the castle undetected. Lu runs into Dia. Dia runs towards Lu, and the two hug each other passionately. Dia then appears both surprised and happy to see Lu at that very moment. Count Viscounte is also happy that Lu showed up to help them. Count Viscounte wants Lu and Dia to escape without being sighted by both parties. Hearing that, Lu reveals his plan to them, which is to make the people believe that Dia has ended her own life. This will give Dia the opportunity to live under the radar, so the three set the plan in motion. Just as they are about to do what was planned, Lu senses a great danger around, and out of nowhere, a man wielding the magic spear named Setanta shows up. Setanta throws the spear at the castle, and the spear unleashes so much energy that it destroys everything in its path. Lu quickly creates a counterspell to fight Setanta. He conjures a powerful projectile launcher that fires a destructive force and launches it towards Setanta. The explosion caused by the hit shakes the whole area, and Dia is surprised by such a powerful weapon. Soon enough, Lu realizes that Setanta is still alive, making him believe that the man is the hero he is looking for. Setanta requests a duel and promises to withdraw his forces and never touch Viscounte region again if his attacker can win against him. Setanta also warns his attacker not to try running away, because it will only make him crazier that way. Hearing that, Lu decides to accept the challenge and they approach Setanta. Lu informs him that he has accepted his challenge, and introduces himself as Fairy Marconi. Lu then asks him to get some short-time preparation for the all-out one-on-one battle. Lu plans to delay the fight till his projectile is ready to launch from the space. Setanta shows a great urge to destroy his enemy, but Lu keeps talking to delay him. He also sends Count Viscounte away when the projectile is almost ready to launch. Watching the fight behind the scene is the goddess, who is the mastermind behind everything. As the final seconds of the launcher begin, Lu flips a coin to signal the start of the fight. Setanta fires up his spear and goes into full berserk mode, but suddenly, the projectile hits him and a massive explosion occurs. Lu explains that the projectile is launched from space, and it is similar to a nuclear weapon. Upon re-entering the atmosphere, it gets engulfed in fire, and the spell will double the target's gravity. Lu further reveals that he had lots of practice with this spell on the uninhabited island on how to accurately aim the projectile at his target. The effect of the blast is so powerful that even Lu himself gets wounded in the process. Thanks to his quick recovery skills, he heals up right away. Lu feels amazing after defeating the hero, and when the dust has settled, Dia runs over him and thanks him for saving her. He then gets close to Dia and kisses her, and the lovebirds return to the house of Tuatha together. Not long after, it is revealed that Lu hasn't defeated the hero yet, for Setanta is not the real hero. Elsewhere, the hero arrives, and he goes by the name Lord Epona Rhiannon. It is also revealed that Dia will now hide her identity, and start living with Lu under the disguise of being her sister. A few months later, a young lady looks so sad that she's about to be auctioned to some rich men ready to develop plot with her every night. When the auction starts, a price tag is placed on the first young lady, and the rich men begin bidding. Sitting at the back of the room is the woman responsible for the event. She tells her assistant that the men are not paying enough and she expects them to pay more. The assistant reminds her that the young ladies are bought due to their beauty and uniqueness. Moments later, the next young lady on the list, who happens to be Dia in disguise, is called on the stage so she can be auctioned as well. The announcer tells the men all the essential features about the young lady, making the buyers more interested in her than any other young lady. Due to her unique features, her bidding price is also higher than the rest. Then, the bidding starts rolling in, and Dia starts thinking about how evil the organizers and rich people are. She promises to punish all the evil men, so she summons her rifle and shots everybody in the room. One of the security guards hears the commotion and tries to intervene, but he's immediately stopped by Tarde, who has been disguising herself as a service crew. Tarde hands the keys over to the rest of the young ladies so that they can free themselves and escape. Together, the two weave off all the bodyguards, and Dia casts a spell that causes a massive explosion. Outside the building, Ma and Lu are just waiting to take out any escaping members of the secret organization, who are responsible for illegally auctioning young ladies to rich people.